Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a lovely day. I'm having a day, but that's okay. You are having a good one. Where is Discord? Did I close it? Oh, I closed it. Good job. My head in my head, in my head, in my head, in my in my head.
Holy crap, I can hear a voice in my head!
Hey, what's up? What else? Hi, Sky. Hi, Mouse. Did you also need to press a button and then there was no button, so you had to sew me a donut? Hello. Hello. I see you. Ah, wow, wow. I need to draw. I need to find the thing. Where is it? Scroll, 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 scroll. God, I need to do more art faster. More art, more fast. You know that you'll need to do more art more fast. We try not to do art during thunderstorms, generally speaking, because we've lost art before to thunderstorm situations, but even so, I still feel weird about it. Still feel weird about it.
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
Thank you for the hydrate. Honey, don't worry about it. I swear, like, it is not about making you be stressed out. It was literally because you said you were able to help. And if you are, at this point, very stressy about it, don't worry about it. I have moderated my own channel for eons and whatnot, and I won't be stopping anytime soon, because it needs to get done, you know? And don't you worry about it. You have a good night. Well, we do have, there's one of Honey drinking something. She's doing the side eye, but there is the little. I think it's available to anyone who's got a sub. You're like, who the hell is Honey? Honey's the one with the blonde hair. She's drinking from a Timmy's cup, but like, I mean, it can imply any water, or even a solo cup, because most people don't live in Canada have no clue. Which one? Which one? It's an animated one. This one. We have Sippa, and then there's also the Sippa animated one, which is, I think, coffee? One of them she sips, one of them she don't. Yeah. Someone wanted just the animated one, not the Blinky Blinky one, but I think the Blinky Blinky one's also funny. It's fair. It is kind of a problem with some of them. Like, I mean, you can't even really tell. Like, I mean, that's Ed, right? Like, Ed hasn't been, like, I'm Ed, but, like, not really Ed anymore sort of thing, situation going on. But, like, oh, you haven't had Ed in the system forever. And you also really can't tell what the fuck's going on in that one either. The problem with emojis is, like, you want to put so much data into them, and then you're like, oh, yeah, pixel count. To be fair, like, we actually probably need to check and update the subscription emotes. The thing that kills me about subscription emotes, so I uploaded all the ones, all our subscription emotes onto YouTube, and they have, what would be the right way to put it? They divide it by year. They don't divide it by half years. But the difference is that on YouTube, the subscriptions for memberships, because that's what they call them there, are like, I was able to upload, what, up to 10 years worth? 10 years! 10 years worth of them. And I'm like, wow, that's surprisingly optimistic considering that Twitch forces me to have to wait a full 6 months between uploads. Or else I just don't fucking upload them for a while, but then people go without a new membership emoji thingy. Until I get around to uploading the next one. But they only give you access to them every 6 months. requiring you to basically to upload them every 6 months. It's like they don't really anticipate you having people around. They just figure that every 6 months or so you're probably gonna quit, so they don't really need to cover their asses. So there's no point in storing those extra emojis. Like, well, you probably won't be here in the next 6 months, so I mean, we're probably not gonna keep this up. So, you know, you can't upload that. Not for another 6 months. Like, it's just sort of like, what? Hi, bot! You've covered up the entire damn chat. Oh, and sorry, Nightbot's showing off that Nightbot has one of the one of the freaking cards. They're supposed to be VIP cards, but that doesn't translate too well into any way of explaining it at all, so that's fun. Why is this song so fucking satisfying? Jesus Christ, I love it! Nightbot flexing on everybody, being like, I've got a subscription. No, I didn't give it to it. I'm pretty sure Rekuyo was the one who decided Nightbot needed a goddamn sub. Nightbot be like, see, this is what it looks like if you have, I think that's the 3 months? 6 months? Sonic EXE, hide, I'm go. Hey, Hunter. How's it turning out? Slowly but surely. Is doing his thing. So I am curious what you mean by Sonic.execute. You mean the, like, do you think I look like that? It's probably been a while since you've seen it. I just say, of all the things I've been suggested I look like, and many are valid, that one I'm questioning, because I'm like, I mean, other than the black sclera, which is what the white of the eyes is called sclera, with glowing eyes. I hear that, but like the rest of it, I'm just. Would I cover myself in blood and spook and jump scare someone? I mean, yes, but like, I mean, Sonic's got that shit covered. Let me fall on the floor, I can't fight out the night anymore. It'd be almost impossible to prove they have it, but I wouldn't want to think about what it would take to, one, figure it out if they did, and two, give it to them in the first place, which just is not an okay thing to think about. But, to change the topic entirely, but to talk about somebody who they may not have had the idea, they definitely had a dissociative, they had a specific plurality. Let's just say plurality, because I can't diagnose somebody, but I can tell you what they said about themselves and their experience with life. You ever read the autobiography that Leonard Nimoy wrote? Yeah, he hated being Spock so much, playing Spock so much, that he used to dissociate before going on set because he hated the character. Like, it was so far removed from his experience. So he would dissociate, and then someone would say cut, and the scene was done. And as it turns out, Spock started talking to him because he had managed to somehow end up with Spock as a separate person inside his head. And Spock never went away. Which is really kind of interesting. I'd be like, oh my god, does that mean that it can happen? Are you trying to dissociate your way through existence, but still operate at the same time? And the answer, probably a lot of people's experience right now, is possibly yes, but regardless, it was probably because he was playing a really deeply specific role that had a very deeply specific character, and his brain just happened to do that to him, which resulted in Spock being a real person, which is really interesting, because anytime you see Spock in anything, that's Spock. That's not Leonard Nimoy acting as Spock, that's Spock. Which is kind of cool. Hey, Subaru Goated, how you doing? But considering that it is still quite difficult without MRI scans, because apparently in certain MRIs you can actually see the difference between different people and what their brain, like what parts of their brain light up when they're doing, say, the exact same task. So if an easy one for us probably would be to have each of us in an MRI So we would make sure that the person was well-centered and going, and have that person sing along to a song that they knew the words to. So, like, not a song that other people know, because that's sort of how we're divided anyways, is like each of us have songs that we know, and each of us have songs we can ignore. So this is a song that I can ignore. I know the words to it, but it's quite likely that someone else in my head sings it when we're singing it. So it would be a song that I knew, and then I would sing it, and then they'd see what parts of my brain light up, and then they could have William front and do the same thing, and have Honey front and have her do the same thing, and have Beth front and have her do the same thing. And what has shown for people who can actually do that particular mechanic is that different parts of the brain light up. Like, completely different parts. Some parts might still be active, so like the part that makes the mouth move. That'll be active. But the recall center will be a different section of that recall center. The, you know, communication thing will be different. The processing will be different. Some of the motion processing will be different. It'll be completely different neurons, which is really kind of cool. Ella, Sam Goldeneye. I'm like sitting here cursing the fact that this thing had gone sideways, but I'm glad I did catch it early enough that I didn't have this half colored when I realized that it was all the wrong goddamn size. At the very least, it's very fixable. And my mild annoyance with the slightly softer edges of the stretched line art, not too bad. Good job. Yeah, definitely grabbed the right tool there. I mean, it depends on the type of person you are. Some people might find such a thing to be a nice little thrill, and a very safe one at that. Like, I mean, there's really no harm in eating Skittles and M&Ms at the same time. But if you don't have the acuity to know what you're about to bite into is a Skittle or an M&M, I can understand why that might be understandable as upsetting, but I mean, they are a totally different shape. And to be fair, Skittles, like an M&M, kind of like, is just sweet, whereas a Skittle has citric acid in that outer, like in the outer shell as well. If you were unaware. I am a queen of eating candy really ridiculously slowly to savor it as long as possible, so suffice it to say, one of the more interesting things about Skittles is they can actually fuck up the outer coating. So you can end up with, say, thing I like to do with Skittles, so I'll like separate all of them into different colors, bitch about the fact that there aren't nearly enough red ones. And then, you know, eat a couple of, like, the orange ones. And without a word of a lie, at least 1 in 5 will always have the wrong flavor on the outside, but once you bite through it, the right flavor will be on the inside. And they don't fuck up the inside, so they do fuck up the outsides fairly frequently. They'll have, like, what I've noticed fairly frequently is, like, the grape ones often have the strawberry flavor on the outside. Which is why grape is my second favorite flavor. Is suddenly aware you're a horrible sibling? I don't think so. You never know. Like, here's the thing. My brother passed away when he was 30. I was 32. And like, I literally saw someone talking about something that me and my brother used to laugh about, and he used to annoy me with, and all I feel is just sad I can't talk to him anymore. you know? Oh my god, the OG greens, the original lime greens. As a note, the way I used to eat them, in order, was lemon, orange, lime, purple, and red. Purple because it's not really grape, and red because it's not really strawberry, but... And now I eat the green apple ones first because they're fucking terrible and they are not lime. Oh, I love the lime flavor. There's no front teeth. I mean, those are candies you bite through with your molars. So yeah, you got on that level. So fun fact, the thing that was making me nostalgic today was somebody complaining about how they didn't understand how Wonderwall works, and I'm like, it's a guitar thing, and you're a piano player and you don't understand it. That's so funny. Into my eye. When my brother was learning to play guitar, he did a lot of playing Wonderwall because once he realized what was going on in the song, like how to play it properly, he found it so funny that he played it a lot. Like, it was like, wait a second, I know what's going on here. Ah, fuck her. And then he just played it constantly until my mom was ready to put his head through the fucking guitar. Oh no, I don't disagree. Wonderwall sucks. It's like, I literally described the sound of that song like going to a dentist and getting your teeth drilled. It is that fucking annoying. But despite that, the fact that me and my brother laughed about it in the past makes the song, like, nostalgic for me, even if I fucking hate it, because I really don't like that song very much. But, like, because of those memories of being annoyed at my brother for playing it because I hated it, it's actually really funny. Oh yeah, love champagne. Me and my brother used to have, like, a competition where this was back in the day when radio was a thing and people would listen to the radio. And Champagne Supernova was one of the longest songs on a top 40 station that you could request, because it's 7.5 minutes long. Which meant that there was a potential to do specific competitions by A, trying to get a radio station to fucking play that song in totem. Like, which was hard enough, because they really didn't want to play it, because it's a 7-minute song and they'd get in trouble for it. And the other was the fact that you could sit there and do, like we used to do, like, who can sit in, like, a crouchy froggy position with your arms on your knees? The longest whilst listening to Champagne Supernova, and you had to sing Champagne Supernova the entire time. Which, saying all of this out loud right now just makes me feel like I've just gone insane, but that is what we used to do, listening to Champagne Supernova. As a note, there's no way to do that easily, because the notes are actually, you don't really realize how long a note is until you are struggling to not fall over due to running out of oxygen whilst, you know, crouching down and trying to sing Champagne Supernova at the top of your lungs. Oh, yeah, that's painful. To be fair, when one of my brother's favorite things was, because a lot of the way we bonded was through music. So, like, basically, there's a lot of Smashing Pumpkins songs that are super nostalgic. It's amazing. They're all from the 90s. It sort of hit, but Disarm by the Smashing Pumpkins was, like, the song that for some reason, but I was feeling miserable, which was frequent because, you know, I'm a miserable kind of person. I'd always get him to sing that song, and he would always change the lyrics to make it funny. I couldn't tell you right now what they were unless I was singing along to it, but he would always change the lyrics in unexpected ways to make me laugh, and like, now every time I hear that song, I fucking cry. Oh my god, that is amazing. Oh, trick-or-treating dressed in sparkly tuxedos with stereos playing Champagne Supernova. I fucking love it. Actually, I still kind of have a habit of anytime I'm like feeling particularly miserable, I usually start singing Smashing Pumpkins songs, which happens frequently when I'm losing games. All of a sudden, I'll be like sitting here, just like I'll start to say something, and then I'll realize that it's a Smashing Pumpkin lyric, and then I'm like, oh well, now we're singing the whole damn song. Yes, we are. Bullet with Butterfly Wings is extremely effective when you're playing Rain World, as a note. I mean, like, what the hell is Bullet with Butterfly Wings? It's fat on my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage song. Oh, yeah. That's actually how we started out here. In streaming, was we were streaming our art to stay focused, because ADHD's a bitch! It's a bitch. It wants to make me do things like watch YouTube videos instead of doing what I'm supposed to do. Because I don't know what damn time it is, except for there's a phone in my hand and maybe it's time to watch videos. Good job, brain. You did it. We lost another evening to watching fucking videos. The issue is, right, like, at least for us right now, is trying to recover from, switches. Takes time, but for some reason, the alarm that we're using, or something around that, is resulting in someone fronting, us being disoriented for half an hour to an hour, and then realizing, whoops, the reason why the switch happened in the first goddamn place was literally because one of us was supposed to actually be getting ready for the fucking stream. I love when we do that. We are working to correct it, but we are not always being very successful. Regardless of our levels of success, we just need to make sure that art always happens. Oh, I have inattentive type, so it's not that I don't stop moving, it's literally that I'm never fucking present! Bye! Bye now! Goodbye! Goodbye now! Bye! I'm literally that kid in class where the teacher goes, Hey! 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 What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And then the kid, like, looks up and goes, huh? And the teacher gets so angry you get kicked out of class? Yeah, that is my experience in school. Skied? Gone off to the sky. Just vibing in another goddamn dimension. I feel that. What's really funny is, like, the sheer amount of processing power that we need in order to devote, like we need to devote into figuring out what the fuck is going on as quickly and accurately as possible is a goddamn waste of my energy. Like, I can't even imagine the fact that I used to think it was incredibly reasonable to pop into existence, have no idea the context, sit there, look at everybody's, what they're doing, what they're wearing, how they look, who's looking at me, who's looking at who, what expressions are we saying, what tone is everybody's voice in, just literally analyzing every single freaking crumb of context for what I'm seeing in order to pretend to know what's going on. Because, that was always, it was always about my best guess. And basing an entire social survival strategy based on just trying to pick up enough clues from the visual context of what I was seeing to go, oh yeah, I hear what you're saying, and hopefully not fuck up that interaction. That's not good. That's not living. That's not having a social life. That is just fucking stressful. Well, I'm entirely right there with you. I'm so bad. Like, you might be like, well, you talk a lot. Talking is absolutely not the same thing as social interactions. Like, when I was trying to explain to my doctor, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I have autism, but, I'd like to get tested. And her response was, well, you're so, you're meeting my eyes right now? I'm like, yeah, it's painful. And she's like, well, what, why do you think that? I'm like, okay, well, I just won't do what I always do. Here's the things that I do. I'll just say them out loud. So right now I'm looking into your eyes. You're looking a little bit concerned. The right side of your eye just crinkled slightly. So you're not quite believing me yet, but your mouth is frowning slightly. You're making your face very calm and neutral. Fair enough, but looking at your hands, this is what your hands are telling me. This is what your feet are telling me. You're leaning forward a little bit now because you're trying to listen to me better because I am talking really fast and it's taking a lot of your processing power, which is actually really handy for me because it actually slows down your ability to keep your expressions entirely neutral. Now I can see that you're blushing a little bit because you're getting really uncomfortable with the way I'm analyzing your entire body language, but this is literally how I talk to people because if I don't do it, people get angry at me for not understanding precisely what they mean by the tone of their voice or the words that they're saying. I need to know from what they're telling me with the rest of their body what the fuck is going on because I so rarely have context for what they're saying. Well, yeah, you know, it probably isn't autism at all. I just used to write extensive notes for myself in a notebook when I was 8 years old, sitting in front of a piano, writing down the specific notes of, this is when I'm being called when I'm in trouble, this is when I'm being called for dinner, this is when I'm being called and there's something bad that's happening, this is when I'm being called and I should be happy when I arrive. Because I couldn't understand the difference between my name when I was in trouble, my name when I needed to move quickly, my name when it was fairly optional to get moving as fast as possible. I literally had the notes written down, and I would sound them out using my keyboard. But definitely not a sign of autism in the slightest. I'm just saying, I'm probably just self-diagnosing. As a note, I have been since diagnosed. But that's like... I'm sure that there's nothing going on there, and that everybody sits in front of a mirror for hours from about the age of 7 or 8 on to... I kind of stopped doing it in my 20s because I finally had a job where I was pretty sure I was nailing facial expressions correctly every time. But yeah, I used to practice making a smile look natural, because if I didn't, people would react badly. So badly, in fact, that it was dangerous for me. So yeah, I'm sure everybody spends a lot of time making sure that the right amount of a smile hits their eyes so they look genuine. Everybody does that. This is a normal thing to do. Been homeschooled since you were 9. Now you can't remember how to be a normal social person since you became an introvert. That's a big mood. I mean, I used to apparently be more social, like when I was like little, but to be fair, it was mostly I just talked a lot and didn't expect anybody to talk back because I was just excited about the things that I was talking about. And I learned real quickly that that did not actually make you friends. That just made people mad at you. So I realized that I actually feel a lot better when I am like physically by myself, because then there's no expectations of behavior, there's no expectations of looking nice. Like, I don't have to wear something more than a t-shirt and some like pajama pants. Nobody's expecting more of that. People are like, oh, why do people wear the VTuber, you know? And I'm like, because nobody wants to fucking do their makeup to do stuff sitting in a damn computer chair. It's uncomfy. I mean, I'm also ugly and ain't nobody want to look at this shit. And as a note, I'm not saying that fishing for compliments. I'm sure you're beautiful is nonsense. I'm not. And it's okay. I actually am fine with that because, to be fair, when I finally stopped getting catcalled because I put on some weight, it was like my stress level went down by several notches when I finally had put on enough weight to have people like randoms whistling or saying really gross shit to me. Like, the fact that that stopped happening was like, oh my god, it's like I can breathe and I don't have to sit there being paranoid the entire time about how far are they from me? If I start running, will they catch me? Do I need to prepare to start running, or are they just doing the thing that some guys do where they really just want to let you know that you look good? And vibes, I hear that. There are just some guys who really want to make sure that the person across the street is well aware that they look good. I don't agree with it, but, you know, they feel the need to do it. Alright. Living with your grandmother for reasons I won't get into. No problem, Sam. Well, depending on the age of your grandma, no, you don't need to tell me the age of her, but let's just say that the people who think, like, the boomerish, she's probably not older than boomers, so we'll just say boomer. the boomery grandma who really wants to get you to be social so that perhaps you'll provide her some more great grandchildren or some shit, because that just seems to be their goddamn aim of late. Is the way you handle that shit is to just say, I know you're not. There's no good way to say I'd like to be a bachelor forever to a boomer, but if I were a woman, I would be a happy spinstress. We'll absolutely take all of the fucking gas out of her sails, because the concept of a happy spinstress is absolutely something she probably understands, because she probably has a friend or two who never got married, who are content to be alone because they're happy with themselves. And that concept absolutely floors them, because they do know people like that. They all do. They know somebody who never got married and were able to take care of themselves, of course, have a nice little hobby, or quite self-sufficient. And they can't put words to that. But of course, I'm gonna gather you're probably a guy. That may be a bit of a foreign concept, but the thing is, you can't, like, you can also say, but I can't really say the same thing about being a bachelor, but understand that I can take care of myself and I'm good. Like, I'm content. I'm okay. And it may actually make her recognize that her desire to see you be social so that you're not alone and so that there's someone to take care of you in your future is not as necessary as, you know, I do have social interactions and the ones I get are quite sufficient. Without her going, yeah, but you're gonna need somebody to wash your socks, which is just gross, but how are you gonna make grandmas stop being grandmas? You will, because you're from a younger generation and provided your parents raised you right in some conceivable way, you probably know how to cook, you know how to clean, you know how to do your laundry, you know how to take showers, you know how to do all those things. And you're okay with doing them for yourself. You will never be the men that she knows, because again, she's playing her experiences on you, right? You will never be the men that she knows who lost their wives to divorce or death or whatever, who can't cook for themselves, and who die in 6 months after their wife passes away because they can't care for themselves and they don't know how to handle life. Reassuring her that that's not going to be a problem will do you a world of good. Oh, that really sucks. Well, exactly! It's a little bit of the, I can wash my socks, Grandma. Don't you worry about that. I wouldn't burden any future woman with the need to watch my damn socks. Like, on a lot of levels, her looking out for you is quite likely just a culmination of her watching the men that she knows who have lost their wives over the years just melt. And as a person who used to work at a grocery store, some of the saddest, most miserable, most heart-wrenching interactions I've ever had with another human being is a recently divorced man, like boomers. And I say boomers because it's not the same thing for Gen X, it's not the same thing for millennials, right? They're not gonna have the exact same problem, but this is very generational. But these boomer men who come in and they lean forward to you because, like in my case, I'm like a somewhat older woman. I'm a little heavy set, so to them, I'm somebody who probably knows how to cook. As a note, I don't cook very well, but that's beside the point. Who would go, now, this is my first Thanksgiving by myself. I got a turkey breast because I figured the whole turkey would be real hard to do, but I don't know how my wife made this. I cannot tell you the amount of times that has happened. And you're sitting there and you're trying not to cry in front of the customer going, he's trying to remake his wife's turkey dinner for Thanksgiving for himself. Holy shit. Anyways, Hey, Blitzkrieg. But like that's what your grandma is seeing you being lonely, but not lonely for companionship, but literally lonely for care, and being concerned on that level. And I can understand why that is egging her on to drive you insane. I mean, she would do well to let you have a phone. But that being said, like, part of that is gonna be a matter of you negotiating emotionally. Like, by negotiating, I just mean, what's the right word? Having a series of conversations about her care and her future and your living situation, in terms of making sure that she's going to be okay if you, say, move to somewhere where you can be more social. Because if you're currently living on a farm, though I don't know quite where I may have gotten that, you may not have actually said that, but like, if you are isolated physically from people, as opposed to simply having no connection other than maybe sometimes being on the internet, is recognizing that you also don't want her to be lonely, sort of thing too, right? I had family members who had to go through that with their parents, where people were caring for other people, and it's like, you say you want me to get out of here, but I can literally see in your eyes that if I leave you alone, you're gonna be miserable. How are you gonna handle this situation? I don't know. You said something about your grandma being a country girl. My brain was like, oh, he lives on a farm. I did not know, but I'm pretty sure that's where I got it from. God of War Luffy trailer, or Laufe. Laufe? I have not. I haven't played God of War since the first God of War. But I do enjoy a occasional, like, someone playing, like, catching clips of cutscenes and stuff. I don't think I'd ever play it, and that's not because I didn't like the game. It's literally a matter of, there are certain games, action games mostly, where I have to recognize that my hand strength and dexterity are better served doing art than being in pain. Oh, hey, Cheeseburgerer! I hope you're having a good one. Can you request a song if it's, I'm gonna say, Pink Sea Domain is no copyrights? Because that's the only way I'm allowed to play any music. But even some no copyright songs, like, do also have that extra restriction of you have to credit them. Hell, I actually thought I had the credits done correctly for Carl Casey. As a note, check out Carl Casey, White Bat Audio, and I will actually remember to mention them by name and have their name properly accredited in the comments if we listen to their music again. Really do like Carl Casey, though. White Bat Audio. You corrupt the song if it's in the public domain. I'd have to take a look at the licensing on it, but in theory, yeah. You can tell me the name of the artist and I can look it up. Okay. Internal request to skip this song. I will skip the song. I like it, but I never ignore a loud request from internal. Sometimes we only have seconds before someone gets flipped out. Not angry, but just like, we don't want to have an unintentional switch. and it's really quite it all. Maybe on the weekend. It's when it's hardest, it's in the hand to make a lot of noise, make a lot of noise. Yeah. So you mean bisexual? Vibes? Just gonna pause. I have to mute so that I can check this song. I've listened to Nirvana many a time. It looks like they're not, they don't have anything here in any of their stuff saying that their stuff is copyright free or any licensing ways to listen to their music. So I'm gonna say, and considering that this like shorts remixing this video kind of has some, they have the song accredited, I would say that this is like a fully copyrighted song. There's no copyright attached to it, no fair use attached to it. So unfortunately, the answer is no. I mean, it's worth looking up. It's always nice to find new people. To be fair, one of the very first instances of no copyright that I ran into, I was like, oh wow, this person like literally has a whole instruction thing about, you know, how to avoid getting nailed by the copyright on YouTube, blah 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 blah. Yeah, they didn't precisely lie, but good lord, the actual way of getting it done. And then you have to wait weeks and weeks and weeks for each individual song you listen to get unblocked. And the whole, well, just put, it's as a note, the fat rat, you know, just put the fat rat in the description as the only thing. Yeah, that's a good way to get completely denied. You have to put a full-blown reason or it'll get denied outright. I assume because YouTube doesn't like people trying to subvert their copyright thingy. So, yeah, you can't even, like, just name drop to be like get their bot to auto agree. So yeah, I had to stop listening to fucking fat rat music because the process of getting all of my videos unblocked was irritating. And I understand why he did that, because people were absolutely stealing his music, taking credit, making money off it, not actually doing any of the things that he requested. Valid. Every time that I have to, like, stop listening to a song because of that particular issue, it's always valid. Always. Because there's always some unscrupulous corporation who is taking the goodwill of somebody who's helping small content creators and doing whatever the hell they want, you know? I get it. And protecting your work is important. But yeah, copyright-free music requires a certain finesse on YouTube, and the only way to kind of protect yourself from, say, I don't know, a corporation that you would never support in real life abusing your copyright for individuals, because the idea is it's supposed to be for individuals, small content creators. Like, you may have like an LLC for your name, but this isn't for, I don't know, Amazon to use in its advertisements. It's for someone to listen to on a thing, so that ideally what I'm doing when I'm listening to this song and someone likes it, they say, hey, what's the name of that artist? And then I tell them, and then this promo song that they've released on No Copyright Sounds leads you to find the rest of their music, which they can make money off of. That's the whole idea behind No Copyright Sounds, is for people who are streaming and whatnot, or people who are creating content, to basically give free advertisement to small content creators who are making music. And that's super cool, and it's super cool they trust us to do that, and we always give credit where credit is due. Like, it's a mutual thing. It's a great fucking thing. But of course there's always gonna be rich assholes who make all of that have to go bye-bye from time to time, and eventually the song I'm listening to today will become a protected song, because someone will eventually rip it off for some random product that the band would never want to be associated with, and then the song will have its copyright status changed, and then I go through my old videos from time to time and just remove all the copyrighted music. And if you're like, well, that sounds like a terrible inconvenience, no. They're not demonetizing me. Like, they're not threatening me with a copyright break, but at that point, I don't want to be looking like I have ripped off this music. Like, I get a limited time use for the songs. Now, in certain cases, like, the people release a video or a couple of songs, and then they just go, it's out in the world and I don't really care about it, and they don't ever make that song go bye-bye off of the copyright-free list. Also super valid, also awesome. They may never make another song again, and they release the song that they made on no copyright, and I get to listen to it forever. Hot diggity damn, thank you for doing that too. But it's the only solution to a stupid situation that never, ever, ever should have been a problem in the fucking first place. Because you know what should have happened instead of the DMCA? Licensing? Yeah, the solution for all the problems that people have with copyright music, blah, 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 all of that could have been solved with licensing. And you're like, well, wait a second, but people do license. Yeah, but individuals can't license. And platforms choose not to license. See, what a radio station does, because this is actually where I learned about this, and I just about banged my head through a wall going, are you kidding me? It would have been this easy to solve everybody's problems? All they had to do, instead of creating the DMCA, which basically says use of anything on the internet is basically illegal unless it's specifically allowed by the, like, record company. Like, that's the only way. It's like you have to negotiate individually. With the radio station licensing, which also includes, like, listening to, say, music inside of a restaurant, is that based on your venue, so, like, based on my audience size, I would pay a certain amount of money to a licensing corporation that would allow me to listen to popular music, or whatever genre, but, like, popular music would be the most common version of that, from an assortment of things. The other thing that could happen is Twitch, who's owned by Amazon, could literally negotiate that they pay a certain amount of millions of dollars, and yes, it's in millions, but the difference is that people could come here, listen to copyrighted music while someone's doing art or playing video games, and Amazon would be raking in advertisement revenue for those songs, because they could have, say, content ID. which would allow somebody to have, say, I don't know, we were talking about Wonderwall earlier, I would have a little thing in the corner saying, Wonderwall, would you like to purchase this album on my stream? Because Content ID exists, right? Oh, hi, Andre. What's up? Yeah, screw Amazon. But, like, on so many levels, there is profit being lost because the DMCA basically says, no, it's all illegal. It's all illegal, it's all bad. It's all illegal. It's illegal, and no, you're not allowed to do it. It's illegal. It's illegal, and we don't want it. And it's like, okay, but hear me out. That was a stupid law. Because, like, having to navigate around the DMCA, make each individual, like, song have to go through this whole rigmarole of being released to specific individuals or companies is bullshit. Instead, it should be collective, because that collective bargaining will get it done faster and would make more money. So much more money. But they won't do it because the DMCA exists. But if it didn't, and they just treated the internet the way they treat radio, where you have a license to play the music and have that music be heard by people, it would work out. Like, internet radio managed to be like, well, we are also playing in real life all this music, so can we just make an extension to say that this is internet radio, blah, blah, blah. And apparently that was fine, but for a pure streaming service like Twitch, it's not fine. Boy, oh boy, that would solve so many problems. Thank you for the hydrate. Anyways. I'm getting all warm.